This is a song written by Swami Kriyananda called Brave Were the People. Brave were the people who lived in these hills. Brave the great warriors who confronted the foe, to defend what is holy, to defend what is true. Our Lord on mankind did this duty bestow. Glad all our children who people these hills, glad in the vision their hearts understand what became of past struggles. Now the records are still, but courage still lingers, giving strength to the land. Men hunger for riches, for power and for fame, but favor they think they will grow. The battles they fight, the victories they win, are never the victories they know. Men hunger for riches, for power and for fame, by favor they think they will grow. The battles they fight, the victories they win, are never the victories they know. Brave were the people who lived in these hills. Brave the great warriors who confronted the foe, to defend what is holy, to defend what is true. Our Lord on mankind did this duty bestow. Our Lord on mankind did this duty bestow. This topic and this theme that the song addresses, brave are the people, it conjures up images of battlefields and war, and which may seem a little bit contradictory to the spiritual life. And I thought to address that because one of the great scriptures of the world, the Bhagavad Gita, takes place on the eve of an enormous battle. And really that battle is in fact a historical battle, but the Bhagavad Gita was written in such a way as to help us to understand the allegorical elements of the inner battle. And that's what I'd like to really address today, because outward battle is inevitably destructive of life and property and disastrous to the environment. I mean, it's many, many things. But it also does create situations of tremendous courage and heroism in the face of death and injury and disaster of all kinds, loss and disaster of all kinds. We've seen that down through the ages. But we've moved out of an era of dark age. Kali Yuga is the way in the Indian tradition it's described, into an age of energy in which we can understand a little more subtly, a little more clearly, that the real battle is on the inside. And it's a battle for our consciousness. It's a battle for the direction of our energy. And that's really what the song is talking about. Yes, brave were the people who lived in these hills, and we sort of have an image of stocky, serious-looking hill folk defending the honor of their territory, their tradition, whatever. But really what we're talking about is we want to honor that which is holy within ourselves. It's not so much that we're trying to push away other people or defend against some outward foe, the foe is actually on the inside. It reminds me of that colorful little phrase, we have met the enemy and he is us. And in a sense, that's really true. The enemy is the sense that we are our lower nature. We are just our physical needs and desires, our attachment to pleasure, our attachment to this body and the sensory experiences that it enables us to have in this world, when in fact we are so much more than that. There was a colorful exchange many years ago between Swami Kriyananda and I believe it was a biologist who was convinced that human beings are just animals sort of dressed up fancy and getting a little above themselves. And he was explaining this to Swami, that was his point of view. And Swamiji just very simply said, well, speak for yourself. So we have to recognize that there are higher parts of our own nature and lower parts of our own nature, but that it's a battlefield to get from the one to the other. And the lower forces don't automatically give up just because one fine day we decide, oh, well, I would really like to be a better and more uplifted person. No, all the old habits, all the bad habits, all the forces of negativity and darkness within ourselves stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, we were all one team here for a while, and now you're starting to say there's something different happening? Well, we don't think so, and we're going to prove it to you. And so we have to fight that battle. And that battle can be as simple as, am I going to get out of bed in the morning so that I can embrace my spiritual life, my meditation practice? Am I going to overcome the bad habits that I've created in life? Am I going to try for a higher level of understanding and consciousness in my life? That is the battlefield. So when we say life is a battlefield, it's not about grim determination. And I'll just share I guess I won't share that. I'll paraphrase it. There's a reading from Living Wisely, Living Well that went by a few days ago. Daily readings for each day of a year. On May 3rd, the reading was, happiness is not the result of long years of grim determination and anxious struggle, but rather just the simple commitment to be happy in the moment, the determination to be happy whatever our circumstances may be. And Yogananda said, the minutes are more important than the years. The battlefield of life is fought in the minutes. The years will take care of themselves as long as we make the minutes what they should be. So let us develop that courage and that faith to live in and fight for higher consciousness in the minutes of our lives. Namaste.